What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90, and it is time to add another series to the channel. We are bringing in the Europa League. I've actually had quite a few comments on my Champions League videos asking if I could do the Europa League as well, and I thought I'd wait to get to the round of 16 because round of 32, there's just a lot of teams. There's 32 teams to deal with, so I thought we're going to go from the round of 16, the Europa League being like the sort of younger brother of the Champions League. It's not quite as important. So we bypassed the round of 32 into the round of 16. The teams remaining: Eintracht Frankfurt, Basel, Istanbul. I'm not going to try and pronounce the second half of their team's name. The Turkish champions, they're beasts. I have been keeping tabs on them. FC Copenhagen, LASK or LASK, the Austrian champions at the moment, doing better than FC Salzburg in the league as well, it has to be said. Manchester United, Sevilla, Roma, Inter Milan, Getafe, Olympiacos, Wolves, Rangers, Bayer Leverkusen, Wolfsburg, and Shakhtar Donetsk. So some very, very interesting teams still in the competition. Obviously, notable absentees: Arsenal getting knocked out by Olympiacos in the previous round. Absolute scenes. Ajax getting knocked out by Getafe in the previous round. Again, absolute scenes. Porto as well, falling victim to the ever lucrative, is not the correct word, relentless Bayer Leverkusen, I believe, anyway, if I remember correctly. But nevertheless, it is the round of 16 for the Europa League. Drop your predictions down in the comments below for how you think the first leg of these fixtures are going to go. And then in a week's time, we'll do another video for leg 2 of the round of 16 predictions. And I'll also be featuring one of your comments who leave your predictions down in the comments below in the next episode, when we take a look back and see how well we did with these predictions. Now, naturally, there are teams in here that I don't know as much about. I've done a little bit of research here and there, but also a bit with my gut for the fixtures, so I'm not going to be talking in depth about each and every single team in this video. We're just going to try and have a fun time. And fun fact for you, the Europa League is the only league competition where I probably ever will get exactly 100% correct predictions for a video, because last season I correctly predicted the scores of both semi-finals, so that's probably never going to happen again on the channel. Kicking it off with one of the teams from one of those semi-finals, Eintracht Frankfurt up against Basel. Now obviously, again, the Europa League, it drags the question in of domestic league versus European football. How much do they differ in terms of quality? Because you've got teams like Basel, Istanbul, LASK, who are absolutely slapping it up in their domestic league, but when it comes to the Europa League, one side of you is like, it's a different level, they're not going to be as good. But then a lot of times, teams like that are actually underestimated, and teams like Olympiacos, the Greek champions, I mean, no one's really underestimating them, but they knocked out Arsenal. Getafe, just a seemingly regular team from La Liga, knocking out Ajax, who looked to be favourites to get to the Champions League final at one point last year. So it's very interesting. But kicking it off with Eintracht Frankfurt and Basel, I'm going to go for the home win. Frankfurt, they do tend to have a lot of goals in their games. It's a typical Bundesliga trait. They've been up and down in form lately, but I think Europa League is going to be a solid focus for them. So I'm going to go for a straightforward home win. 3-1 win to Eintracht Frankfurt, because if Frankfurt don't get a good enough home advantage in this first leg, I could see Basel nicking something in the second leg. So I think Frankfurt will want to establish their dominance in this first leg. The next fixture is Istanbul up against FC Copenhagen. Now, Copenhagen knocking out Celtic. That's another notable absentee from this stage of the competition that I didn't mention. But I think, again, home form is going to prevail, because both of these teams, you know, doing well. I just knocked the mic. Doing well in their respective leagues, but at the same time, I think it's going to be a very, very close tie. Obviously, Copenhagen knocking out Celtic, that's no mean feat. Istanbul, I think they're going to win this one, so I'm going to go for a straightforward 2-0 win to the Turkish side in this fixture. The next one, LASK, the Austrian champions, up against Manchester United. At the time of recording, United winning the Manchester derby 2-0. United have been looking very, very good ever since Bruno Fernandes came in. I'm really happy for the guy. He's made the difference and impact that people would have wanted him to make, and he really is running that midfield. And if Pogba finally comes back from injury and can be slotted in that midfield with him, I don't see United playing one holding midfielder and two going forward, which would be, but perhaps Pogba and Fernandes. Maybe you keep Fernandes in the attacking midfield position, play Pogba in the defensive midfield role, which I believe he's done for France a few times, and maybe him alongside Fred or Matic, depending on what sort of system they want to work with, and whether they want to go for a back five with wing-backs pushing forward. However they want to do it, I think Manchester United are in great form right now. They're looking quite solid at the back. I believe in their last maybe 10 fixtures they haven't lost. Something crazy like that. And they've kept a lot of clean sheets as well. They keep it low scoring. I do think LASK will score, being the home team, being quite a strong home team. I think they are going to score a goal. It's Europa League. They're going to try their hardest. It's Manchester United. But I think Man United are going to get the away win and ultimately progress through to the quarterfinals. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win to Manchester United. Now, coming up, we have Sevilla, back-to-back treble winners? No, 3-time winners of the Europa League. Sevilla up against Roma. I think this is going to be a very, very exciting tie. Now, I was thinking the other day about how much of an achievement it actually is to win the Europa League back-to-back, because not only do you have to qualify for the Europa League for the first time, you have to win the Europa League, but it's even harder because you then go into the Champions League and have to finish third in your group, and then go down to the Europa League and win the Europa League, and then finish third in your Champions League group again, and then win the Europa League. So you can't do too well in the Champions League group stages, but you can't finish last. You have to do that twice, get back to the Europa League, and win the whole thing. So that's pretty damn impressive. And I think Sevilla, their home form is where they shine. And Roma, typically as well away from home, aren't as great. They managed to beat Ghent at home 1-0, and they drew 1-1 away. Or was it Genk? One of the Gens, and in the previous round, and I think Sevilla's home form is absolutely, it's so much better than their away form. Sevilla will have to win this home leg, I think, if they want to go through. It's going to be a close tie, going to be an exciting one. Two veterans in European football. I'm going to go for a Sevilla home win. I'm going to go for a 2-1. I was going to go for a 2-0 because Sevilla, again, I cannot understate how good their home form is compared to their away form at least. But I'm going to go for Sevilla to win this one 2-1. The next fixture is Inter Milan up against Getafe. Getafe knocking out Ajax. What a performance. The first leg really helped them there. Their home form definitely helped them in that leg. They're doing okay in La Liga, but nothing special. Inter Milan doing very, very well in Serie A, and I was potentially going to go for a 3-1 score prediction in this one, but I've dragged it down. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Inter Milan. The reason being, Inter Milan haven't been scoring as many goals lately as they were at the start of the season. You know, at the start of the season, they were bagging 3 goals in some games. Sometimes they were getting 4 goals, but they haven't really done it lately. And, you know, European football, first leg of 2, the first half an hour of most first leg ties are quite scratchy, tentative. Inter Milan will know that they don't want to concede too early on. They don't want to, you know, concede too many away goals. So I think they're going to try and play it a little bit safe, score a couple of goals. I'm going to go for the 2-1 win to Inter Milan, but I think they will be hoping for more than that. I think 3-1 would be an ideal result for Inter and would be enough to see them go through. But Getafe knocking out Ajax, they're no mugs. You should not underestimate the Spaniards. The next fixture is Olympiacos up against Wolves. Wolves breezing past Espanyol in the previous round. Very high-scoring games there. And Olympiacos nicking it at the end in extra time. 1-0 to Arsenal in the first leg, 1-0 to Olympiacos in the second leg, and then 1-1 between the two teams in extra time. Olympiacos go through on away goals. Absolute scenes. Olympiacos at home. They are a good team, and before Arsenal beating them 1-0 in that fixture, they hadn't lost in their previous 10 plus home fixtures, and they'd won them all. They are an absolute unit at home. Obviously, domestic league versus European standard, that is a debate to be had for, I guess, another day. But I think Wolves are in absolutely fantastic form. I think they're just going to try and not lose this game and then take it to Molineux and do the business. That'll be their aim, their goal. And Olympiacos, they are tough to beat at home, so I think that screams out a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between the two teams. Yes, Wolves have had typically high-scoring games in Europe, but I think Olympiacos, they're set up well defensively, and so are Wolves, to be honest, so I'm going to go for the 1-1 draw. The next game, a very, very tough tie. Steven Gerrard's Rangers up against Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen absolutely slapping in goals in the Bundesliga. Kai Havertz becomes the first, I think it's the first 20-year-old to score 30 goals in the league. Has he scored 30 goals? Maybe it's in the season. He's scored a lot of goals, and Bayer Leverkusen are dangerous. They knocked out Porto, who are, again, a very, very good team, smashing it up in Portugal. Bayer Leverkusen dispatched of them. Rangers have got their work cut out for them, and I do just think that the German Giants are going to be too strong for them. It would be great, as a Brit, to see Rangers do well and progress further down the competition, because I'd like to see, you know, Rangers play Man United or something like that. But I think Bayer Leverkusen are not only going to win this first leg, I think they're going to win the second leg as well. I'm going to go for a 3-1 away win to Bayer Leverkusen. Again, I think it's just going to be very, very tough for Rangers. The next fixture promises to be very, very exciting, and I'm going for goals because it is Wolfsburg up against Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar, fantastic domestic form. Wolfsburg, pretty decent in the Bundesliga. They do score a lot of goals again, typically a very German trait, very Bundesliga-esque. Shakhtar Donetsk score a lot of goals in Europe. Goals are scored against them. Goals are scored for them. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think over 2 legs, I want to say I'm going to back Shakhtar Donetsk because I think their European pedigree experience, certainly in recent years, I would say is of a higher quality. So I think maybe over 2 legs, Shakhtar go through. And if it does end, the score prediction I'm going to say, which is going to be 2-2, a high-scoring draw between the two teams, that's 2 away goals for Shakhtar Donetsk and no deficit, you know, no advantage for Wolfsburg going into the second leg. So I think it's going to be a 2-2 high-scoring draw and Shakhtar to then, I guess, progress in the second leg going through to the quarterfinals. So that is going to do it for the first episode of Europa League predictions for the season on the full 90. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like on it, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss a video coming up very soon. We have Premier League predictions. We then will have more Champions League stuff, more Europa League, more FA Cup, more Premier League, all that stuff going through March and April and May. So you do not want to miss it. But that does it from me, and I will see you in the next video very soon.